So guys, welcome to the Wild West.
The Fort Worth Stockyards. This National Historic District is just north of the Fort Worth city centre in Texas. And the reason why it's so historic is because this is basically cowboy country. Everything that you associate with the Wild Wild West is here.
In the 1800s, this was an important trading place for cattle, especially with the arrival of the railroad.
And that's pretty much the main attraction here. The most famous thing about Fort Worth Stockyards is the cattle drive. This is where they parade the cows through the streets, and look at the amount of people that have turned out just for this. I must admit, it's pretty surreal because obviously we don't see cows roaming the streets every day, but this is one of the main draws here at Fort Worth Stockyards, and I gotta admit, it's kind of cool. Apparently, there's a historic reason for this, but I've yet to figure that out.
And I heard that it was a bit of a cowboy town, a bit of a western town, but didn't realise how much of a western town it actually was.
And it's pretty evident that this is the preferred mode of transport here at the Fort Worth Stockyards, which is kind of cool. Now, whilst you're wandering the streets, you'll quickly realise from the paraphernalia that they're selling, to the things that are displayed in their windows, to the actual buildings themselves, that you're in one specific place.
Yes, you're in Texas. And secondly, it is actually a western town. Everything is pretty much intact. Everything's still made of wood. The brick cobbles on the floor are still the ones that were there 100 years ago.
And there's plenty of things to see and do here. You can go and ride mechanical bulls if you want to, get lost in this wooden maze, just because, and even drop off the kids to the petting zoo so that they can pet sheep and goats and whatnot. But one of the more fun things is to actually ride steers.
Yeah. Go ahead and get up on the top steps, swing your right leg over.
Swing the right leg over?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's your stirrup right here. You can pet him while you're up there.
So, just riding a steer today. That's normal, It's a normal thing to do, riding a steer.
I milked this thing for all it was worth, and when it was over, I really did not want to get off this thing. This thing's pretty cool. But when you get a chance, check out the Stockyard Station. This used to be the railroad station that goes through the town. But now, they've converted it so that you've got lots of cool bars and shops for you to shop and eat at. From sweets, to steer hides, just in case you ever wanted to buy a steer hide, to spurs. I think they're spurs anyway, I'm not entirely sure. But the point is, you also get to meet some interesting characters here. Now, these guys were posing for pictures, and I thought I'd join in.
Guys, these are my new friends. Say hi to everyone on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube!
Hello, YouTube.
I'd highly recommend checking out Pawnee Bill's Rodeo Show. This is your typical cowboy rodeo show where they do things like trick roping, trick shooting with typical western style shooters, and side saddling, riding horses on their side. And afterwards you get to go and congratulate and meet the performers, which is cool.
You assume that this place would be quite western, but you don't realise how western it actually is until you get here.
Remember those friends from before? Turns out they're actually actors who like to shoot each other in the middle of the street for your entertainment purposes. I decided to watch the cattle drive again because it is actually a cool thing. It sounds lame in theory, but to be honest, I enjoyed every second of it. Just watching cowboys steering steers all the way down the street. I highly recommend going to Billy Bob's, Texas. Yes, it's actually called that. This is the world's largest honky tonk, a place where they have music, alcohol, and, well, line dancing. Yeah, you can even learn how to line dance here, so that's kind of cool. You can watch the Bull Rodeo, which wasn't on when I went, and there's lots of famous people that have come here. Quite literally, quite a lot of them.
I want to come here. What do I do? Well, firstly, you have to get to Fort Worth Stockyards. It's north of the city centre, And for me, it took about 40 minutes just to get here from Dallas Airport. The stockyards itself, walking around the shops and seeing the cattle parade, costs nothing. Costs absolutely nothing. You'll have a great day out just by not spending money, which makes a change, really. Ponyville show ran me about $15, $20. And there's also a rodeo here that's every Friday and Saturday. Today's Sunday, so I completely missed it. And there's other attractions here too in Fort Worth that don't cost that much money. So guys, if you do like the Western scene, if you like cowboys, or if you've ever wondered what it's like to be a cowboy, come on down to Fort Worth Stockyards. It's free, it doesn't really cost anything, it's a bit of a drive to get here, but definitely add this to your bucket list. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Ultimate Bucket List. If you've got any comments or questions, comment on the comment section below, and if you've got any other ideas as to what to add to my bucket list, feel free to tweet at me. If you get enough suggestions, I will do it, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Now you're probably wondering, Ninh, why the hell are you wearing a Stetson? Well, everyone is. I think this is one of the only places in the world that you can come to where you can wear one of these things and not look like a complete idiot. So yeah, by the way, I love this hat. It cost me about $40, but I absolutely love this hat. Everyone here is wearing a Stetson, so I thought I'd kind of fit in.